Lee Petrov, fucker back with another mother love. You already know the deal. Grab a smoke, grab your drink, and lock with your boy, because we back with another one, baby. Y'all already know what it is. I hope y'all staying safe. Hope y'all staying blessed. Hope y'all staying blazed in this mother lover. Y'all already know what it is from on your side of the homeboys aisle. Now, the saga of Jack Murphy continues. A lot more has came to the surface. A lot more has been exposed. A lot more people went digging in places that Jack Murphy did not want anybody to go digging, and here we are. Now, before we get into the crux of the shit, I'm gonna read what I think is the best way to put things in this situation from a right-wing, conservative valued, misanthrope, son of a bitch. That would be me. Now, I want to make it clear that I got no skin in this game. None. I don't know Jack. I don't know Sydney. I don't even know Elijah. I don't know Jeremy. I have reached out to Elijah, I think, once, and that was on Parler. I think I went up to Jeremy once, and I think that was on Parler. I reached out to a lot of people on Parler when Parler was popping. Not to collaborate, not to do shows, just to say, yo, I like yo shit. That's what it was. You know what I mean? Now, I've seen Jack, like I said before, on Tim Pool's show multiple times. Didn't really tune into his episodes. Later throughout the week when Tim uploads the snippets, the clips of his show, sometimes I would listen to it. Wasn't always a fan of what Jack had to say, but I let him have his piece. You know, I never really considered him the alpha male that he wanted to be. I think the quartering calls him Alpha Giga Chad or some shit. I don't know what the Giga or Chad particularly means. I know Chad is like a real like white boy type shit. At least when I use it, that's what I mean, you know. But he can refer to himself as whatever he wants. I just didn't see it like that, and I think a lot of other people didn't either. Now, that being said, I think Jack has ran from his skeletons for a while. For a while. I think he thought he could bury that past. And not necessarily bury it, because when you put something on the internet, it's always there, right? There's always an archive. Well, let's keep it a buck. You put something on the internet, and now you're upset that people are going to use it against you. And the people that are using it against you are people you wanted on your side. He don't want to go back to liberalism, and they don't want him. So now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Conservatism doesn't really line up with what you did, what you stand for, or what you have stood for. And I'm sorry, but a 40-plus-year-old man does not change as much as one would think. If you were a liberal for 35 years and all of a sudden became a conservative or a centrist because of a few things you didn't like where the left went, and that's why he was disaffected. That's why a lot of these disaffected liberals are disaffected. They don't like where the left went. They don't like how far it went. It left them behind. That doesn't make you a conservative, and that doesn't make you get to speak for conservatism. And that doesn't mean you get to impose your values from your liberal days onto conservatism. Let's keep it 100. Let's be honest. And I'm not saying Jack did those things, but I don't think he had a problem with trying to do those things. Now, I said before, I think right now he is going to be hurting because I think he's going to be losing some income from this. Now, he wants to go back and forth. He's talking about lawsuits, police reports, this, that, the other. He's having small videos taken down. He's having YouTube videos struck, Twitter accounts banned. This man is on a crusade. He has asked his people to build a war room. He needs people researching and doing this, that, the other, so he can pull the trigger. Now, we're going to get into all of that. Believe you me. Believe you me. As you can see, the slideshow is of shit that the last few days of what Jack Murphy's been involved in, including some memes and some funny shit here and there. But you can always pause it and read some of that shit. Or you can always download Twitter, type in Jack Murphy, Chatterbait, and you'll find the whole motherfucking thread. Now, to me, the saga of Jack Cuckman Murphy has continued down a path that he now regrets. One could assume. Jack's semen-ridden skeletons have sampled their ways to the surface. Jack's article has been screenshotted, shared, photos imposing like an OnlyFans amateur have come to light. Not only is this man a cuckold, he is utterly proud of it. and has many other kinks to go. I myself, amongst all the things that were out there, I found a slew of pieces written by Jack ranging in topics or things that he was involved in. Now, the cucking, that's the major one most people are stuck on. But there's also a story on the cuckold consultant, and it says it's by Jack Murphy, written a couple years ago, about the same time the cucking story was written. And he decided he was going to go Inspector Gadget on his then wife, if that's his wife now. Planted a chip in her purse or a microphone in her purse so he could hear after he dug through her purse, went through her car, her closet was smelling her dirty underwear, all because he thought he was chasing down some fucker and she was the fucky and he was the fucked. Yeah, read the article. Read it. It's only like 3 little sections. It's not little. It's kind of long, but there's 3 of them. And I recommend it. Look up Jack Murphy on Google. I promise you it will pop up. Look for the cuckold consultant. It's the first thing they show, because then it says about him, do you want to add your story about being a cuck? Crazy, bro. Now, Jack does not like that people have posted him naked, and that was the pictures of his OnlyFans amateur career then they came to light. They is him posing in the flesh, in the nude, and you can't unsee that. You cannot unsee him jamming silicone where the sun doesn't shine. There is a lot of things this man did for some money, and he said he was in a tight place. Man, I know homies that have been in a tight place, and they did not resort to what you did. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, he went on Inspector Gadget, because he really believed his wife or his then wife was having an extramarital affair. He bought little bugs. He wanted to be a private investigator himself. Didn't like the private investigator that he hired because the private investigator really didn't take his money and said you'd have to bug the office or catch her in the act, and I'm not going to bug the building because I'm not going to lose my license to do that. So then Jack decided I can't plant bugs. He had no problem going in his wife's purse, slitting a hole in the bottom because she wouldn't recognize a little bump, and planted a recording device there. Man, super trusting, huh? Now, mind you, he said they had a good relationship, had 2 kids, all this, rah, rah, rah. And then one day, she started going to the bar, hanging out at work a little bit longer, this, that, the other. So maybe some red flags did go up. But the extent that he went to do that, to start arguments, to play along with his little game, was fucked up. And no alpha male would do that shit. No alpha male would do that shit. A beta male would do that shit. A beta bitch would do that shit. But not an alpha male. And that's one of the things that I have a problem with. See, one thing we're all going to wrap this up in the end is, how can you do such cuckery and then think about you're going to speak as an alpha male to other men that are looking to be alpha males themselves? Now, my personal opinion is I don't think anybody that thinks they're a beta should go follow any alpha. If you think you're a beta, learn how to be an alpha on your own. Not everyone's cut out for it. It's just the truth. Not everyone's cut out for it, and that's okay too. But to do some of the things he did and then get all upset and frustrated, and mind you, if he would have just not said fuck you 7 times to Sydney Watson, he wouldn't be in this position. But I think he watched that R.A. Rugged Man interview with Tim and thought he could get a little buck too. And it backfired tremendously on his ass. Now, once you start digging into the Jack well, the well just gets deeper and deeper, and it becomes more questionable as to how he is able to teach men to be men when he does things that real men don't engage in. And when I say real men, I mean real men. I don't mean 2021 men. I don't mean 2015 men. I mean real men. Real family men that just want to live their life and be as happy as they possibly can be and just get to the finish line the easiest, not the easiest way, but they're definitely not going to be the hardest way. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you can't talk to somebody however you see fit. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you can't be an alpha and cuss someone out. I'm not saying that. But in the situation that he was in, invited on an interview show, knowing that he was going to be interviewed and asked questions, maybe not being in a direct interview, he was just a guest, knowing that super chatters have already asked these questions before, why not be honest? And see, it wasn't everybody could have dropped the fuck yous and just laughed that away. But it's when he went on Tim and decided to lie. And if you're willing to lie about those little things, what else are you willing to lie about? That is one of the biggest questions I get from all of this. Now, shoot, this is the truth. Someone went as far down the well to recover a snippet of him speaking on a podcast about how he urinated in his then's wife on the outside porch. And he's like, it's late at night, so the neighbors weren't awake to see. Still fucking weird. All because she went out and fucked Matt from Tinder. He set that whole little thing up, and she really didn't want to do it. Or you could definitely read some articles, read some pieces about that. So she went through with it, and then she came home and ended up giving some fellatio to Jack on the porch. And then Jack, in his dominance, decided that he was going to urinate all over. He calls it water games. We will listen to a couple of those pieces. Believe you me. We just got to get there, my dog. Now, one of the things that throws me is I can only imagine what he's going to tell the liminal order. That he and his partner did some amateur porn for the fee, where he did some things, again, that real men really don't do, and at least real straight men, and when I mean real straight men aren't going to shove things up their butt for no almighty dollar. But then again, Jack is not the alpha man. He's not the real man he claimed to be. Just because you have a beard, head shaved, you go to the gym, and you know some lingo, doesn't make you an alpha male, and it doesn't make you a real man. All of that shit is a facade. And clearly his facade is breaking. Now, his business is no different nor better than an average pickup artist. That's my honest opinion. He should have thought about his skeletons as his name was growing. He should have thought about his actions towards his skeletons before he went live and or did interviews. His past doesn't line up with conservatism. Also, let's keep it 100. We have articles being written as if he is being turned on by conservatism. He was a disaffected liberal. He rocked with some conservatives. He went to some panels, this, that, and other, but that never made him a conservative. So how can some conservatives turn on their own? And then this is the funniest piece. They're turning on, they're eating him up. He himself said he came up with Mike Cernovich. Where's Mike Cernovich in all this? Where's Mike Cernovich helping him out? Pitching for him. Yo, he's a good guy, man. Yeah, he's good. Because Cernovich has bad takes too. Everybody does. So to say, oh, I came up with homie, well, where's your homie to back you up now? That's my biggest question. And I say it like that because if you came up through the political ranks together, wouldn't your homie that you came up through the ranks together come out and defend you against the saga that you now are involved in? Makes a mother lover think, don't it? Now, this is the most fucked up part, I think. I'm a disaffected liberal. I'm an alpha male, bro. I make that cheddar, bro. And you want to get Sydney Watson fired from the Blaze because she asked you a question that you didn't like because you had skeletons you didn't tell anybody about. Especially before you went live and acted as if motherfuckers don't have Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing. You want to be a public figure and you want all your information to be out there? That's what happens when you start going the route of, hey, let me put my face everywhere. Let me start these 10 different things. Let me go on panels. Let me talk as much shit as I can to get my name out there, bro. Make sure your skeletons are hidden much, much deeper if you have them and are afraid of them. Now, I say it like that because a lot of people said he could have came out and owned that shit. He could have came out and owned it and been like, yo, I wrote that article. I was young, dumb, and stupid. I don't know. He wasn't young. Could have been dumb, could have been stupid, but he wasn't young. You know what I mean? So, but he could have came out and owned it. Owned that shit for what it was. But he chose not to. He chose to double down, triple down, and continue to go on the saga against anyone else that was making fun of it and or speaking on it. And I've said it before. It's the internet. You can't expect the internet to play fair because you don't like the rules. That's not how it works. The internet, I'm sorry that someone went and dug up his little pornos and shit and wanted to share it with the world. You put it on a free site. What'd you think was going to happen? Oh, the pictures you took for some money? What'd you think was going to happen, bub? Did you think nobody was ever going to find those? Did you think one of the people that paid you might have not pissed off along the way? Come on now, bro. Come on. Now, when Jack wants to get Sydney fired from the Blaze, That's something that the left does almost exclusively. And again, how is he speaking for conservatism if he himself said he's a disaffected liberal, still doing liberal shit? Oh no, they did something I don't like, so I gotta go cry to the powers that be at Twitter, and I gotta go cry to the powers that be at YouTube, and I gotta text Glenn Beck, and I gotta see if I can get them fired because they made my week rough. Some real childish shit, Jack. Now, not that all alpha men need to be conservative, but if I imagine the role where I picture an alpha male, it is most likely going to line up with my conservative beliefs in the alpha males I know already in my life. Which most of them ain't liberals. Actually, none of them are liberals. A couple are centrists, but ain't no liberals. And that's where I would say conservatives or centrists could be alpha males, but I don't think anything else could. I don't think a socialist could, or a communist, or a liberal. I don't think any of you could be a alpha male or an alpha woman. Y'all spell the word beta for fun. Now, Jack, like I said, he labeled himself Alpha Giga Chad. You can label yourself badass, but it doesn't mean you are. So you can label yourself an alpha male. You can label yourself a savage. Doesn't make you one. Sorry, it just doesn't make you one. Now, Jack has opened up a can of worms that he cannot close, that he's upset about, because people aren't buying the shtick. And they're not buying the "oh, poor is me" shtick because he keeps doubling down. He runs and tells show something, and then he runs back to his liminal order little page and says something else, and then that shit gets leaked. And then all of a sudden he wants to go after show for someone that leaked his texts. It's funny. Now, his ex-wife or his wife, whatever she is, or whatever she is to him now, she did those things with him. She claimed him then, so she has to claim those issues now. You did them with him. Now, I'm not saying she should have been harassed or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But again, you put your shit on the internet, you have to expect some kind of backlash at some point, especially if you are in the video doing something that you normally wouldn't do in front of people. You know what I mean? Let's keep it a buck. Now, his order of men whom pay him nicely deserve more than a few truthful answers, and I think Jack should hang up the alpha teacher shtick. He clearly is not that guy. And I'm not saying that he has to hang it all up and he can't do any more panels, but I would really prefer that he can speak on why he's a disaffected liberal, what he thinks he can bring to manhood. But please don't refer to yourself as an alpha male anymore, because I think that title has now been stripped of you. And I think you owe people that pay you some answers, some like real answers, because I think what you sold is just as bad as a snake oil salesman. Just as bad as the guy that says, I'm going to get you that bag, bro, and runs off with your money. You're no better. You're no better than the average pickup artist that gets 500 views on YouTube a pop. You are in the same category as them. And a million other motherfuckers put you in that same category. Now, amongst all of the stuff, there was people that went to bat for him. There was. Let's get to that. People went to bat for Jack. They really did. Now, wasn't a lot of people in the threads that I've seen, but there was a few people here and there. Let's get to there. This was one person. If people put 1/10 of the effort into actual problems as they did Reagan on Jack Murphy Live, conservatives might stand a chance at accomplishing anything. And I said, it isn't hard to multitask because it's truly not. But that's one person. And then if you look here, I want an official apology from Cernovich for introducing Jack Murphy to Twitter. Now, see, I didn't realize really what that was until I put the dots together when Murphy was like, me and Cernovich came through the ranks together. Did you? Where's the homie now protecting you? He's not there. Now, like this person said, the more I learn about Jack Murphy, the more I wish I didn't. The world was a much better place an hour ago when I didn't know who Jack Murphy was and what he's done. See, people are not too appeased with the shtick he has brought on. This at Jack Murphy Live shit is wild. I've learned way too much about Jack Murphy in the last few hours thanks to Twitter. And then here's Jack Murphy, your truths are being broadcast for everyone to see. Don't care for drama, but it's fun to expose the fake frauds like yourself. Go ahead and call upon your fellow cucksters and round up more lies. You're only digging yourself a deeper grave. If you read right up here the hashtag the internet is forever, that's the truth. And people my age were told from the golden days of the internet, don't put anything on there that you can't take off. Don't say anything on there that you can't take off. And when they say that, that means you can't take anything off. So don't say anything that you would regret later on. Well, Jack didn't realize the first rule of the internet. You done fucked up. Now this one made me laugh. Matt from Tinder, baby. Now if you know the story, Matt from Tinder was the guy, dog. No, it's probably 100% not the real person, but it's funny. 2022 prediction, Jack Murphy comes out as a gay transvestite. I don't know if that'll actually happen, but kind of funny, right? Oh, here we go. Jack Murphy, also known as Giga Chad, or His Holiness, the Supreme Pussy Slayer, is a self-help guru. For a nominal fee, he will help you become an alpha male. Step 1, find the largest item in your house and shove it right up your ass. Apex energy is found in the prostate. Oof, that escalated quickly, dog. Holy shit. Now, this was a meme that made me laugh. The one who flew over the cuckold's nest. Well, you know he was mad about this. And then this was the quartering pointed this out. This is what Jack Murphy said 2 years ago. Thanks for reply. Well, you definitely get a larger it. You succumb to their feminine instincts when responding to this post. Of course, rape is devoid of love, sexiness, or consent. No one is advocating for actual rape. What I've advocated for is a woman to relax their pearl clutching in consensual acts between adults. Feminists hide their own sexual desires for fear of contradicting their narrative. This post was criticism of women shaming women, while describing the very nature of male and female relationships. There is no news here, just calling out hypocrisy where I see it. You've correctly identified the women respond to a sexual dominant man and can have more intense sexual satisfaction when submissive. Now, if only the rest of women could understand and accept that. Now, I did not read what she had to say. I just didn't. Here goes. The kind of, as you said, not quite rape, but the rape. The kind of rape where a man who loves his girl commits. Rape conducted under auspicious consent. Now, see, a lot of people had issues with that because I don't know if he's trying to normalize rape, but it's kind of what it seems like. Now, here we go. But fear not, there is a solution. Not quite rape, but rape. The kind of rape where a man who loves his girl commits. Rape conducted under auspicious consent allows the feminist to begin to claw her way back from the insanity. You see, rape is the best therapy for problem. Feminists need rape. When a man and a woman tap into the power of rape, they connect on a fundamental truth about our two sexes. Oh my God. I gotta put oof. I feel dirty reading that shit on God. Never in my life, have I ever heard a man try to say that rape was somehow okay. And this motherfucker said feminists need rape to claw their way back from insanity. How insulting is that? To all the women out there that have ever been sexually assaulted or raped or molested. What do you think about that? That I cannot imagine that he fucking said that shit. But he did. And these are the skeletons I'm talking about. He did not want to come out. He could not stop them from coming out the minute he opened Pandora's fucking box. And he wants to close it now because it's coming back to fuck him up. And when I say that, this is the article right here. This is the first snippet of the page right here. Now, this man literally says, today I sent my adoring, loyal, hot young girlfriend of 2 years to have sex with a stranger from Tinder. Matt from Tinder, baby. She is currently at his apartment, checked in with me via text, and is presumably sucking and fucking her way to a good time. I'm alone writing, and I couldn't be happier. Now, before you write me off as another salon.com freak who wants to be a cuckold or some kind of spineless beta undermale, hear me out. This has been a long road. My manhood is intact, and my is hard. No, You're a 40-year-old man who was divorced, found a young thing that probably likes to play a little bit more games than you do, and got you to play some games, homeboy. You got played. Your girl's probably an alpha male. You not an alpha man. You not, homeboy. You not. 40-year-old man. I'm sitting at home while my hot young little girlfriend is out getting done up by a homie. Yeah, baby. Now,
sometimes we experiment and play with water sports. Not everybody's into that, but
this is him describing what happened after the Matt from Tinder. This is him describing that. Let's listen for a couple seconds. It's intense. If you have children, get them the fuck out of the room. They shouldn't be listening to my shit anyways. Let's keep it 100. But if you got kids in the room, get them the fuck out of here and put headphones on. Because this shit is foul, bro. Foul. And you can be into water games, all that shit. All you can want to have golden showers every day of the week. You fucking nasty. Sorry, you fucking nasty.
Explain to my listeners what water sports are.
Water sports is urination. And after this instance with Matt from Tinder, we came back to our house, and on the front steps of the house, I had her blow me right here in the neighborhood. It was late, so I wasn't going to run into the neighbors. And then, I peed all over her face and her body and her mouth right there on the front steps.
Yep.
And the sexual charge that comes from knowing that she just fucked somebody else is really intense.
Right. And then peeing on her is kind of claiming her back and humiliating her for it all at the same time, which is part of that kink. So
yeah.
And if you wonder what it says on the screen, it says Finders, and I believe it says, I wrote this shit so quick. Kind of, okay, hold on. Okay, it's I can't remember what it is. I think it's like a Finder. It was kind of like Finders Keepers type thing. You know what I mean? It's weird. This whole thing is weird.
It absolutely is, and frankly, we don't really do water sports that often, but it's the times where she's come back from fucking somebody else, or we've had a threesome or whatnot. That's when I'm most into it, and it's absolutely right. It's about marking her again, resubmitting her again.
Okay, so I don't want to listen to no more. You guys are more than welcome to go to Rude Dude and look up the rest of that shit. Finders and lighters, I think it was. I don't know why I wrote the lighters part, but I believe it. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I can't remember why I wrote it, but I did. It had something to do with this whole little thing. And they can see right here in the comments, the comments 133, the plot thickens. Now, when he says she came back and he had to dominate her, he had to, show his dominance, that's where I think he gets the alpha male shit from, but it's not good alpha male shit. You know what I mean? It's just not. That I don't think is the good message to pass on to guys that don't know how to be men. When your girl gets back from sucking another man, she's going to suck you off then, bro. And then you go and pee all over her, dog, because that's asserting dominance. And now, this podcast that he's on, I can't imagine that it's a podcast that would be listened to other than someone that's probably ready to go right now. They already warmed themselves up and is ready to go. You know what I mean? That's no different than what I would consider softcore porn. You're only listening to it. You know what I mean? And I think Jack didn't want this to surface. I think he didn't want any of this to surface. I think he was okay with saying it 5 years ago because he was doing the stuff that it just had happened. It was a story. And now I think he's been trying to distance himself from that. And it's coming back to backfire over and over and over again. And at what point do people, anybody, start to think like, this man is not what he said he is? He is not who he said he was. You know what I mean? There's got to be some tactical, logical, common sense reasoning there. You know what I mean? At least how I see it. Because I wouldn't want, if I was to die and I wasn't able to raise my kids, I would not want Jack to be the male influence in their life. Hell no. And I can only imagine the influence he was on his own children if these are the things he did after they had already been adults. Did you fantasize this shit while your kids were little? And there's one more clip.
Sure, established 35-year-old man cannot have a healthy, productive, fruitful relationship with a woman 10 years younger than him.
I didn't say that. I just think
You just said they were immature and they shouldn't be matched up.
22.
Okay, 22, 23, 24.
Look,
Women
they're
mature
10-year-olds who
way
go
more.
to college.
Women mature way more quickly than men, dude.
Before he goes on, I want you to think nasty. You know what I mean? He's going to say that because women mature faster than men, and men mature hit their prime at 35 years old, that it should be, in my eyes, what I'm getting from it is he is trying to say that 35-year-old men should be able to date 15-year-old women or 15-year-old girls or 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds because the girl's more mature. And because it happened in the past, because it's happened in other countries, because it still happens in other countries, arranged marriage. Just because something was normalized 100 years ago doesn't mean it should be normalized now, and it doesn't mean it's okay now. How many of those relationships, when a 35-year-old man marries the 15-year-old girl or gets with them, how often does that last? And how often does it turn out good? Because I've read a few stories. There was a conservative running. He had married. He was 18, I think 18 or 20. He married a 15-year-old. They had a child, and she ended up committing suicide at like 20 years old. That's just it's anecdotal, but that person was running for Congress as a conservative. I said it wasn't okay then. It's not okay now. And Tim, I am proud of Tim in this moment because he does not back off of that's not okay.
Way more quickly.
It's preference.
At age 15, women, they're basically women already.
No, they're not.
Right? And it's like men hit their prime in their 30s.
Does not matter.
Why wouldn't a man in his prime latch on to a woman in her prime? Why not? That seems to...
Right there. That is some of the creepiest shit I have ever heard in my fucking life. Why would a man in his prime at 35 not really latch onto a girl in her prime at 15 to 22 years old? You want to be 35 and date a fucking 22-year-old? Do you, homie? I don't care. But if you want to go under 18, you are now a fucking offender. There's nothing else to call you. I'm sorry, but this line of thinking is the same line of thinking that motherfuckers, well, minor attractive person should be a thing. No, the fuck it shouldn't.
Most logical thing possible.
That's what's happened for millennia.
Millennia.
Older men would marry like 15-year-olds.
And the
that's kinda
societal,
creepy.
It's creepy in
shame
this society. It
around
didn't used to be.
dating a younger woman is just...
Now, if you listen in the background, Tim says it's still creepy. Ian is just saying it's happened for millennia. Ian's just stating a fact. I can tell Ian does not, you can tell in the conversation itself, it sounds like Ian is trying to drop more of a fact or just something that is truthful. And you can see Jack here trying to normalize that shit in his creepy ass fucking face. Oh, he's a creepy fuck. Look at that shit. Look at that ugly ass face. Look at that shit.
Cannot have a healthy, productive history. Every piece of
But I'm
literature,
citing
every
this on
book you ever
purpose
saw.
because it's not your opinion. OkCupid actually tracked
No, I know.
all the messages, and they found no matter how old the guy was, from even younger guys,
Why do you think that is?
always mentioning 22-year-olds.
Why do you think that is?
For I think evolution, like biological reasons.
Right, exactly right.
And what OkCupid found was that, very disgustingly, in my opinion, men are actually attracted to women much, much, much younger than that, but would not want to have a family with someone younger than that. So men choose 22 as the equilibrium between mental and physical maturity.
Why is that disgusting? There's nothing
Little kids.
wrong. Well, little kids, of course, dude.
Well,
But
that's
there's-
hyperbolic on my part.
Right,
Like,
but there's literally
teenagers.
nothing wrong with seeing a woman of fertile age and thinking she is an attractive sexual partner.
All right. I'm going to drop this right here. This is foul, bro. I don't know how Tim could have even wanted to have this conversation. I'm telling you right now, having a daughter, dog, I'd have punched this motherfucker in his mouth. That's on God. A woman of fertile age and thinking she is an attractive sexual partner. I know girls that had kids at 12 years old, you creepy fuck. Teenage pregnancy is something the United States deals with more than any other fucking country, and it still doesn't make it the fuck okay. So what is he trying to preach here? Yeah, and OK Cupid went and dug through all this shit, came up with some statistics. It's fucking nasty that any man would want to do anything with anyone younger than 18 years old. That's when they're a fucking adult. It don't matter when you age. It don't matter when you fucking are mature. It doesn't mean none of that shit. That's why there's a thing called rape, dumbass, or statutory rape, dumbass. There's rules in place to protect children from predator fucks. Now, if you want to be 35 years old and date a 22-year-old, you go do it, dude. I don't give a fuck. You want to be a 22-year-old man and go get some 35-year-old woman? Do it, homie. Don't give a fuck. Do you know why I don't care? Because it's not a child. And he's like, oh, I'm not talking about little kids. A 15-year-old or some girls at their fertile age are fucking children, you creepy fuck. And after knowing all the things that have came out, having this conversation that he's having now, I wonder if Tim knew all those things. I wonder if Tim knew all the skeletons that he had in his closet. What about Ian? Did they know about all the creepy shit you done did?
But like acting on that with an 18-year-old woman is a completely different story. But there's nothing wrong with seeing an 18-year-old woman, and being like, oh, she's attractive. Of course she is. She's in the prime of her beauty.
No one's talking about 18-year-olds. This is what Tim's just about to say. No one's talking about 18-year-olds here, bro. You are talking about kids. OK Cupid had made a statistic that said there are men that would happily go screw a little ass kids, but they wouldn't want a family with them. Somehow you're fucking negating and jumping around whatever you can to still try to put your fucking narrative in there, bro. It's creepy, fam.
OK Cupid data said men want women younger than that.
Okay.
Yup.
And that I find creepy.
Yeah,
it is creepy.
Society has rules. Like,
it is creepy today, but guess what? It wasn't creepy until just recently.
No. Just recently? Like 10 years ago? What, Jack? 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6? What? Huh? Yeah, it's recently my left fucking testicle, you weird prick. It ain't been recently. Motherfuckers ain't been okay with arranged marriage in a long time. Motherfuckers ain't been okay with rape in a long time. Motherfuckers ain't been okay with any other thing you trying to push in a long motherfucking time. Especially when it comes to the United motherfucking States. Now, you can go play whatever other country you want to play. I don't give a fuck. I don't live there. You're talking about young kids, bro. Fucking weirdo, bro.
All of humanity, all of history, all of time.
I still think it was creepy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of past cultures did a lot of really creepy, gross stuff.
Yes, they surely fucking did. Yes, I think that's the easiest way to say it. A lot of cultures did some creepy shit that they probably shouldn't have did, right? A lot of cultures did some things that they weren't okay. A lot of cultures still do a lot of that creepy weirdo shit. But not in the United States. And that's one of the reasons we're such a good great motherfucking place. You don't have to worry about giving away your 13-year-old daughter when she's of age to give away for 3 cows and a couple stacks. Nah, man. Jack Murphy, bro. He's nuts. He's nuts. In his fall from grace, whatever grace he thinks he had, that fall, he brought on himself. No one else brought that on Jack except Jack. That's it. Jack screwed himself in this situation. Jack opened Pandora's box. Jack got mad at Sydney, and Jack never was honest about the things he had in his past. And even if he was honest, he clearly wasn't honest to the masses, or motherfuckers wouldn't be shaking him down the way he is, or he wouldn't be shaking as mad as he is. Now let's get some of the things that Jack had to say in retort to Jeremy, Sydney, and others. Now, a couple last ones, I laughed, you know. What the fuck? I subscribed to Jack Murphy's podcast and it linked me to Chatterbait, a dude's girlfriend and his boyfriend shoving a giant black dildo in his ass. Just found out Jack Murphy's name on Chatterbait or whatever was Big Beard. Imagine your name is Big Beard and your asshole gets eaten on cam. See, these are questions I think he was never expecting to be hit with. Now, this is what he said in, I'm assuming, which was to a liminal order. Guys, this is war. I need help. I need someone to start a war room with people who are willing to do research. This guy posted revenge porn of my wife. That's a crime. He has incited violence against my wife. Sydney and Elijah have supported this and incited it. I need a room and people added if you're willing to help. At all. I hate to drag you guys drag guys into this, but I need help with research and cataloging stuff. There's the same one. He had no problem blocking his Twitter and pretty much every other account that he's on. This is one of the parts of the section of his consultant cuckold, whatever it is. Why is Jack Murphy in the news this week? It's in part because London McLeod, the far-right mass shooter in Denver who wrote novels under the name Roman McClay, was allegedly a member of Murphy's private brotherhood called Liminal Order. Now, Jack kind of contradicts himself here. Guys, there's more bad news coming out about me. I'm sorry, after I got canceled from my real-life job and career, things were dark. We didn't have any money coming in, and there were no jobs at all. I was lost and desperate, so my fiance and I did cam porn at home. People paid us to fuck on the couch. We made thousands of dollars and had sex with each other. It was shameful, and I am sorry that it is out there now. And I am sorry if you had to deal with it. I understand if this is too much heat for you guys, but this is it. This is the final washing, my final test. I have grown and changed so much since then. It was 3 years ago now, but all hate trolls have all dug it up and are going to apeshit with it. My deepest apologies to you for any problems this may have caused. I am sorry. No. 3 years ago is not that long ago. So I have an extreme hard time believing that this man has all of a sudden changed into a better person. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Like I said, you can have whatever kinks you want. I'm not into kink shaming. Do what you want to do. I don't care. But then you shouldn't be trying to preach to anybody else how you're an alpha, this, that, the other. Because, to me, alphas don't have weird kinks. Things they need to do to get off. Their wife, their girlfriend's enough. They don't need sex swings or Matt from Tinder or any silicone products. They don't need that. Now, some of those things I guess could spice up the relationship. But I've never known a guy that wants to spice up a relationship by injecting things into himself. But then again, I guess when you're paid that almighty dollar bill, y'all, you're willing to do whatever it takes. And in my eyes, he's a mechanical engineer. How did work dry up? How did work dry up? Your degree should have never had any fields dry up. And if they did, you should have been able to easily go to another field. Desperate? Nah, I don't think you were desperate. I think you wanted to do it. I think you wanted to make some quick money. But that right there, it's revenge porn. They all dug it up. No, it wasn't dug up. It was out there to be found. Someone just looked for it and they found it. You can be as bad about it as you want, but I would definitely not say this is revenge porn. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend's not out here doing it to harm you. They're out here to prove a point that you're not the alpha you claim to be. And you're a whole lot more beta than anyone could have ever expected. Now, Jack Murphy will never live this down. This will never go away. It may subside, but there will always be someone in some chat, some live stream, something that brings this up. Now, people have said that Elijah and Sydney are past it. He said, hold on, let me bring that up. Now, this is on the quartering, but he said, my tweet about Glenn Beck got everybody moving. The quartering has done something. The You Are Here piece on January 3rd is off. If you look at what Elijah did a comment on YouTube and made it very clear that the holiday break was a little bit longer than expected, but Sydney had to go to California for a family member or something. Emergency happened. So it's not off because of what had happened. Something happened to where she couldn't be there and she's kind of integral to the show. Jack would like the show just to not go on because of him. Elijah and Sydney are done with this. The quartering has deleted, and we are still going to destroy him, though. That's where the quartering got mad. You wanted the quartering to bend over backwards, tuck tail, and run, and then you decided, and after he said, okay, I'll drop it. I'll let it go. We're good. Jack decided to go through with that. So, in my eyes, an alpha male, if you're going to go to war, you know you're going to go to war. You know it's about to hit the fan. You don't have to play that game. You don't have to play that card. But Jack felt it necessary to play that card. I'm going to get them all to try to bend to my will and impose I'm sorry and you shouldn't be doing this to me. And then I'm going to go to war with them. Secretly. Weirdo shit. And then he was going after the Cuckery and he's going after Sydney. He wants her fired. I couldn't see any of the text, or I'd have Jack's Twitters, his tweets up. I'd have those up, but he gotta, I asked him to follow, but because I did a few videos, I'm sure he'll find those or hear or something. Maybe I'm braggadocious. But I'm assuming if you're digging for everyone's videos, you will find even the smallest channels of videos. You know what I mean? Now, I will not bring up this again unless something else sparks the idea. This is as far as I've ever went on anybody for just about anything. And I think Jack Murphy deserved it. Like I said, I think he got a little amped from the R.A. Rugged Man interview with Tim Pool. So he thought that he could go and be just as amped. And it didn't work. It backfired horribly, tremendously, heinously. And he was okay with being the villain. He's talked about it before. Sometimes you got to be the villain to be the good guy. You're such a hypocrite. You live in a double standard type world, and you want everyone to believe your what was weaving together set of lies that people have now debunked, spread for the whole world to see you for what you are. A liar, a grifter, a snake oil salesman with some okay ideas on some things here and there, maybe kind of, sort of, but not really. That's what you are, homie. And on those notes, I hope everybody stays blessed, stays safe. And if you go to dig into this rabbit hole, this well, make sure you got some eye drops near you, a little bit of bud, something to drink on, because your life is about to go from what you knew it to some shit you never wanted to see. And on those notes, you already know what it is. Quit going pee on people, y'all weird fucks. That's not okay. It shouldn't be a kink. And if it is, you need some mental help. Water games are nasty. Peace.